Dry brushes. It was a sunny day. That old man was watching the afternoon's clear sky through the window of his room, sitting on his chair. Due to the immense heat from the roof, sweat was pouring down through his forehead. His mind was as empty as the blue sky, not only today, but also for the past 1 decade. A foul smelling manure of loneliness have blossomed into a flower of aloneness with the fragrance of freshness. After retirement from his career as a comic illustrator, many approached him for further creations from him, but he refused them during the beginning as a 4 decades fatigue persisted in him. Later, when he voluntarily went, there were no offers. Now he is absolutely alone. His canvases, oil paints, watercolors, inks, and everything else are dry as his mind is. An absolute meditativeness in the absence of any guide or guru. Early to bed, early rise, a morning walk, newspaper, a good, slow and light breakfast, and a nap, followed by a meal and a long sit in his chair beside the window for hours, gazing at the vast sky till evening tea. Then another walk through the outskirts of the settlements to the potato fields nearby, the storehouses and the meadows. Alone, talking to no one, smiling to no one. As days pass, he gradually started enjoying this routine of boredom, ignoring offers for any leisure trip or any festivals or family gatherings, living as an absolute hermit, enjoying the silent pace of life. Even though, like the clouds in the clear sky, rarely a drop of tear may hang around the edge of his eyes when some memories of the past shatter through his mind. For whom am I? He asked himself. How many more days? He again reflected. Some questions from within repeatedly disturbed him. Today was such a day, as a memory from his busy days once again went through his inner screen. It was a rainy day, also with thick hailstones. The aroma of the soup for the bread is coming from the kitchen. But there was no time, as he was in search of his raincoat. On the way to the press, he is having another responsibility to do: to drop his 2 children in their schools. Where you hid my coat? He was shouting. That's not my business. He experienced Newton's third law again from his wife. Meanwhile, their 2 wards were running behind their kittens, not having any awareness of time. He came back from those memories as he usually heard a knock. Correction, as he unusually heard a knock on the door. He stood up from his chair and went. As he opened, there stood a middle-aged man with his wife beside and a small boy in front of them. "Grandpa!" The boy ran towards him. At once he opened the door and tightly hugged his hip. "Oh, my dear child." He took the boy on his shoulder and started running between the untidy objects in his room. With a smile of happiness, the couple came in and sat on the floor. The sports between the grandpa and the boy held for several minutes. After some time, they came back and sat on the floor, taking long breaths. "How many more days will you be here, at least?" the host asked. "Sorry, Dad. We were on the way to the station, and we have only 2 more hours," the guest announced, creating an emotion of disappointment in his face. "Then why you came?" the host shouted. A huge silence filled the room again as everyone started gazing at the floor. The lady took time and gradually went near him and pampered his shoulders, telling him, "We shall be coming soon. Only 3 more months for his vacation," pointing at the boy. "How many more months I will? How many more months will I?" he reflected within. After a long break of silence, the lady asked, "Where is the kitchen? Shall everyone have a tea each?" "But the kettle is unclean," Grandpa announced. "I shall make it ready." She went into the kitchen and came back with a large old kettle full of tea without any snacks. Everyone drank the tea along with shoutings and laughings, sharing some memories. "Grandpa, can you draw an elephant for me?" As the boy asked, the old man's hands started shivering. "Oh, I have forgotten how to draw," he refused. "Lie, lie, lie." Everyone started shouting. "Okay then, I shall try. But where are my canvases, pen and everything else?" "I shall help you." The boy started running through the room here and there and made all the arrangements. While the old illustrator started gathering all his art, the boy was patiently sitting on his lap, eagerly gazing the canvas. "It's time." An alarm came from the middle-aged man. "Let him complete," the boy insisted. At last, a fair creation came from the old man. "Nice one, cute." Everyone started appreciating. "Not nice enough." A comment of dissatisfaction came from the artist himself. "Grandpa, shall I take this with me?" the boy asked. "Why not? Sure, this is for you." Tears started pouring through the old man's cheeks while giving that approval, as he kissed the boy too on his forehead. They waved goodbye from the car park, as the old man reflected the same through his window. While he came back A dense silence prevailed in the room. His eyes went through the misplaced things, the canvas boat, the kettle with little tea remaining, etc. While locking the door, he saw a paper on the floor. He took that and flipped to recognize that it was his own drawing that he completed minutes before. "Grandpa, shall I take this with me?" The boy's voice echoed within the illustrator's inner ears. He was sure that it would not have happened purposefully and might be an accidental slip. He carefully preserved the creation to give the same to his grandchild during his next visit. Once again, he sat on his chair and started gazing at the empty sky. The wetness of his eyes gradually started to dry as his old brushes